Well, I'm kind of speaking to my son-in-law, Robert, although I could be speaking to anybody. How to hold the sword. So everybody's a right-handed swordsman. There's no left-handed swordsman. This is going to be a little bit of a conundrum because I'm going to say two different things. One is, that's right. Two is, it's just the little finger. It's like a Vajra fist. So you know what a Vajra fist is? Tight, almost as tight, but still tight. Neither tight nor loose. Loose, loose. Loose, loose. Either tight nor loose. Tight, not quite as tight. Vajra fist. Mainly you're pretty close to the bottom. How close to the bottom you're going to be depends upon how skillful you are in a way. That's one way of thinking of it. It's not even in that little finger, but really another way of thinking of it is you should be that little finger. Maybe beginners more like little finger definitely on. The more, if you're more advanced, you could do it more like that. So this is the tight one, but this is tight too. Whatever. It's a conundrum. It's like golf. Your hands are separated. I'm up here against my sword hilt. My hands are not together. If your hands like that, just cut off their wrist every time. They're done before they ever start. But if you get your hand up here, nobody can cut off your wrist. That's pretty much all I can say at the moment about the grip. But next is maybe stance. Feet. So I don't know. Front foot always right. This front foot always right. Always straight ahead. Back foot 45 degrees. It's like Tai Chi or it's like anything, the same stance. Like a lot of things. When you move, in a real sword fight, we'd go this way and that way, but the way we train is just this way and this way. If we're in a match, there's no going that way. It's like fencing. You got to stay on this line. Want to go out and kill each other later on, then you can. You can move around, but you don't need. That's sort of natural. But learn how to do things right. You just stay on a front back. Your student Jack's gonna want to, but you can't let him. Can't let him, just keep him here. Whoever it is, doesn't have to be Jack. So, maybe we're training how to have a little match here, So, get points for each strike. So one of the main points is striking right on top of that. Right here. Not so much here, although that's fun too. Right there. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Traditionally the throat is a big one, but it's just too complicated, too tricky. People get hurt. So we leave the throat one off probably, unless you figure out a way to do it without people getting hurt. So, the whole thing is how you stand here. If you learn how to stand here and how to gaze at your opponent in the right posture, you've won before anybody ever moves. Usually the older student is the defender. He just defends. Maybe he'll counterattack some, but essentially he's letting the younger student learn his skills by attacking. He's already been the younger student for 12 years, and he's developed his skills as an attacker. Now you have to learn how to defend, and a little of both. So you just let Jack attack you, and you just back up. So the way our feet move is, our feet don't cross over. Our feet kind of shuffle. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. So a lot of it is learning, how to hold it. How to hold it right, not too tense, not too loose, not out of position. We can hold it here. We can hold it here. We can hold it here. We can hold it here, we can hold it here. All these are legitimate. This ain't bad, this ain't bad. You're gonna get a lot of this, a lot of this. You know, if you're over here, then you kind of telegraph which way you're coming from. Up here, they don't know. There's this too, you know, this is a good one. A lot of that comes from the throat thing, but this is a good one too, you know. This is a very good place for it. This thing is a knife. It's a big knife. It's not a bashing implement. It's a cutting implement. So you have to train yourself how to cut with this thing. How to slice and dice. You're not bashing. You're slicing. You're catching them here and you're cutting an artery in and they'll be dead pretty quick. But if you just bash them here, you're not even going to hurt them. They're going to kill you. So you got to cut. You got to cut a vital part of them to win this match quick and get on to the next one in the battlefield or whatever. You know, to me, it's a lot about gazing. It's your, if you're gazing right, you feel everything that happens, what they're doing, what they're thinking, what their aura's doing, what their energy's doing. You just know what they're doing, and whatever they do, you're ready. Boom. So, you know, you can. So it's like meeting your master face to face, which you are. Probably that's what you're doing, really. And he's like, you know, enlightened. And you'd be getting enlightened once you get the gaze he's got. And you learn how to get the gaze he's got from watching his gaze and imitating it. So, you know, the older student, he don't move. He just learns that gaze, learns that. And the younger student, he's playing the role of the idiot who's about to get himself killed by being aggressive and going against the Tao by having an aggressive thought and going with it. But when you're on the defense, you don't do that. So you learn with these things. You know, you practice your footwork. You practice your footwork. You practice your footwork. You know, if he's coming after you and you can't get out of your own way and get back, you're toast. You got to learn how to, without losing your good posture, your good chi, your good gaze, how to move. Things happen real fast, but your mind is big. It doesn't have to get small because things get fast. So you train with this thing. You train, you get the grip right. And then you get a little something going. Then you have the fun part, which is getting out. It's probably good. You got a bicycle helmet, or some goggles. I could help buy you some goggles. Goggles. That makes it safe, you know. Then you're safe. Otherwise, if somebody's gonna get an eye poked out, maybe, or you know, somebody get hurt a little bit. And then these rubber swords, you know, they're not like the real swords. You can't do the same, but you know, you can do other things. So then you just let him attack you, and bam, bam. You can, you know, you can kill him. You can get a point. But let him do the attack, and you just back up, and then you walk, come back, and you start back in the beginning. It's fun. Oh, it's so much fun. Funnest thing ever. But you gotta rein him in. Don't let him go sideways. Whack him on the arm every time you see this stuff. Just whack him on the arm and he'll learn. There's more where that came